Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me, my name is Jess Blake. I am an aspiring cosmetologist out of Portland, Oregon, and let's get started. Okay, so if you read the title, today we are going to go over all the tips, my advice, my experience in beauty school. I feel like everybody's is different. Me going into it, at least, I had no idea what to expect. I had no idea what it was gonna be like, and I actually searched YouTube looking for a video like this and I couldn't find one. So I always told myself that at the end of beauty school I would do this video. I'm gonna stay very neutral. First of all, one thing that I feel like a lot of people don't know about beauty school is it is a college. So for instance, I go to Northwest College School of Beauty. So with that, expect to still have to learn about biology, chemistry, anatomy, business, electricity, and like the list goes on. So a lot of people think that, oh, like I'm gonna go to beauty school and I'm just gonna like do my friend's makeup all day or do my friend's hair all day. Not saying that it's not like that, because there are definitely days when it gets to be like that, but most of the time it's not like that. You're still in college. Like there are still those expectations, those tests you need to take and pass. There's things you need to study for. You will still be making flashcards, but don't let that distract you. I know there are people that go to beauty school because they're like, oh, like college isn't for me. It is still college, but for my opinion, it's a lot better of a college. Maybe that's why I went, I don't know. First thing about beauty school, so how it kind of works. So there are 3 main subjects, and then it kind of goes on depending on the school you have, depending on what they offer. But for the most, like bare minimum, they offer hair, aesthetics, and nails. And you can take those in any order. We have schools that also offer barbering, which they go more into depth about barbering or extensions or whatever it is, but for the most part, you're gonna learn the 3 basic things that you need to know to pass your state boards, become a licensed, whatever you're wanting to be, licensed beauty professional. With those subjects, for instance, when I started, I got a book like this for each subject. So this is my aesthetics book, and then I got a workbook that is pretty much the same size of this that you have to take on every single subject, and you have to take notes on, and then you actually have a test that you have to take for every single one too. How it kind of works is for, I think it's like the first 3 months, I want to say, you are considered a freshman. You have freshman classes where you actually go in and they are going to teach you literally how to do each thing. So let's say for hair, they're going to literally teach you how to style hair, how to do a basic haircut. Everything is very basic. The basic you need to, at the end of each class, the classes are, for us at least, they were 2 weeks long for each subject. So you'll have 2-week-long hairstyling class, 2-week-long haircutting class, 2-week-long coloring class, and perm class, all of them. They'll teach you it, and then you'll have this thing called freshman practicals. In those, you'll actually have to take an exam where they're actually gonna watch you do a hairstyle, do a haircut, do a hair color, and they're gonna test you on it, and if you pass, you go out on the floor, or if you don't pass, you stay in class. Going into that, that's for every single subject. After you pass your freshman classes, you become a senior right away. For the remainder of your time, you are going to be testing, studying, and taking clients. This is when beauty school becomes extremely independent, I can say nicely. Until graduation, until your senior practicals, you are on your own. And it's your responsibility to manage your time, take your tests. I had 52 tests I had to take. There's a business class that you have to take, and it's your responsibility to make sure you get those done. Other than that, they give you your hours once a month, where you're at, to make sure that you're on track to graduate when your anticipated graduation date is. Everybody's graduation date is all over the place. I think they have like 3 start dates, I want to say, a month. It could be one person comes into school and 20 people, that's their start date. And then they're all gonna graduate at all different times. Everybody graduates at all different times. I think I've seen the most of 2 people graduate on the same day. It's very different compared to other colleges and universities and things like that, obviously. But like I said, to say nicely, you are independent. Honestly, going through school, I was really upset about that because I wasn't getting the help I was paying for. But when it comes down to it, when you graduate, unless you go into like an apprenticeship or an internship, you are on your own. Like, this is what the beauty industry is about. Your career, everything you do is all up to you and how much work you're gonna wanna put into it. You really get used to that in school. That's the way I'm gonna say it nicely. A lot of people ask me about testing. Testing is going to be just like any other test. So your actual written test, it's not going to ask you what way to curl a hair. It's going to ask you more things that have to do with the hair and the scalp. You'll learn a lot about like diseases, and you'll get tested on different diseases and what to look for on the skin, and if you need to send them to a doctor, or if it's safe to perform whatever you are doing. How you should pick your subject. There are a lot of people that go to beauty school and they only pick aesthetics, or they only pick hair, and that's totally fine. It is totally up to you. They do have incentives for people to do everything, because at least in Oregon, you can do just one subject and study everything, and you'll still have to take general sciences, whether you take one or all. Or you can do all of them all in one program, and it takes a lot longer to graduate. They do have this incentive just because there are states, from what I have heard, there are states where you have to be fully licensed to perform anything. Even if, let's say, you are just working at Great Clips, you are just cutting hair, you still have to be a licensed esthetician, a licensed nail technician, and a licensed hairdresser. So that's kind of the incentive there. Luckily, Oregon, at least when I started, so I have 2,300 hours I have to complete, and they like to think of it as 100 hours a month, so I'm technically supposed to be there for 23 months. Other states, it's very different. It's different on states. Like, some states do like 1,600 hours, and it all depends on that. And they like to set you up for if you did end up wanting to go to, let's say, California. So I'm here in Oregon and I wanted to go down to California. California does require less hours to complete, so I could go straight in. But if I went to school in California and then I came up here to Oregon to do hair, I would have to go back to school and complete the hour difference there before I could be licensed in Oregon. So that's kind of like what's nice about Oregon and beauty school there. But definitely, like, whichever state you're in, do your research. Make sure you're kind of set up for whatever you want to do, and make sure as many doors as possible can be open for you. Outside education. You should expect this. You do pay a lot of money to go to school. Unfortunately, they are going to teach you the bare minimum. And I have talked to girls from and guys from other beauty colleges. It seems like in general, that's where we're all on the same page there. They're gonna teach you the bare minimum. So they're gonna teach you how to cut hair. They're not gonna teach you any crazy haircuts for coloring. They're gonna teach you how to apply color to the hair, what to expect, what the hair color is doing to the hair. They're not gonna teach you any crazy colors. That is going to be further education. Most schools, like my school, they don't teach hair extensions. I know there's a few that do, from what I've heard. At least my school, we don't learn hair extensions. That is extensive education that you have to pay for and go do it yourself. That being said, I have been to a lot of classes in school that I've like gone out and paid for on my own, and I do recommend them. And everybody that I've talked to that are licensed and have been licensed for years, they all say go take classes, because beauty school is going to teach you the bare minimum. And if you do want to excel and thrive, stand out from other hairdressers or estheticians or nail techs in your area, you are gonna need further education to do so. Another thing about beauty school, just like any other school, there is drama. You will expect it. I feel like one thing that I have really noticed in beauty school, it's always the same few few people that are kind of just high school, but I mean, you're gonna get that anywhere. No matter where you go, there's gonna be drama, there's gonna be those people. I've noticed that, and then if you really notice, everybody else is kind of just doing their own thing. There's times when people are brought into it. The best advice I can give to that is just stay out of it. The other thing I've noticed that I might, please don't come for my throat, is those people that are really high up in the drama tend to get really stuck in the drama and leave school and don't know what they're doing, or don't feel like they are where they want to be in their career, and it's like they just went back to high school and they're just kind of hanging out, talking, and you don't need it. I would just stay out of it. Just focus on yourself. With that being said, this is an extremely competitive industry. A lot of people don't know that. I've heard of a lot of people that don't really necessarily understand what they mean when they're like, it is a cutthroat industry. People are gonna have a lot to say. I have noticed it firsthand. I've seen it happen to other people where people are gonna wait. One thing to really remember is something someone told me once is anybody that's doing more than you won't have anything to say, because they know what it's like, they know what the journey, they've had to climb those hills, and they're just like, yeah, they're climbing them too. So if people do have a lot to say about your work, just ignore them. Just keep doing you, learn from your mistakes, thrive off of them. You are gonna mess up. There are gonna be times when you're like, what's going on? Or I have cried. I have literally cried at school. I've literally left school because I'm like, I can't do this. It's extremely hard. It's extremely competitive, and it takes a lot, but it is equally as rewarding. The best decision I ever made was leaving my university and going to beauty school. I can honestly say that. Anybody that knows me knows that that is true. It's equally as hard as it is very rewarding. So just stay out of the drama. Just focus on yourself. Focus on your work, bettering yourself, because it is really easy to get caught up in it. You will not be proud of yourself when you leave. I can guarantee you that. Another thing about beauty school, you are gonna have long days. Get ready for them. If you're anything like me, you're going to be going overtime. You're gonna be doing everything you can to graduate, and that is not just me, that is a lot of people. Once they reach close to graduation, where they can kind of see that end, they start showing up to school crazy hours. There was a time when I was going to school from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. and just trying to get as much done as I possibly can and get out of there. Be expected of that. Appreciate it, and try not to beat yourself up and just be like, this is bullshit and I don't want to do this or whatever it is, because frankly, it's gonna be like that in the real world from what I've heard, and it's going to be a lot of work to build yourself. Nobody's gonna be building you unless you're in an internship or an apprenticeship. There's nobody there to hold your hand from the moment you leave freshman classes to the rest of your career. Be ready to work hard, but it's rewarding. The last thing is kits. So supplies to do hair and makeup and facials and nails and stuff like that. Your school will give you a kit for each one, and it'll fill you with all of the supplies you should need to perform every service. This being said, I don't have anything, I don't think, from my kit that I got a year and a half ago, and it is stuff that's not meant, or how do I word this nicely? It's the cheapest stuff on the market. It really is. And you're slowly going to replace that stuff. So if you're worried and you don't know what to buy for supplies, don't worry about it. Just get your kit and then slowly replace things with better options for you. Alrighty, well, I hope that was helpful for anybody interested in going to beauty school. My advice, do it. Go. I've told every person that has ever asked me or shown interest in going to beauty school, go. It's very rewarding. There are so many opportunities in this industry right now, and we're only growing and we're only going up from here. I say go do it. It's so much fun. Worst case scenario, you go, you get licensed, and maybe you go do something else, but you always have that under your belt if you ever want to come back. That is the end of the video. If you have any questions, please ask me. You can leave them in the comments, or you can DM me on Instagram. My Instagram is justblake.styles. My Pinterest, I'll link all of that down below, and we will see you on the next video. Bye guys.